Welcome to a thrilling new episode of Random and Famous, where we tackle the stories of individuals who redefine boundaries and inspire energy and change. Today, we are diving into the dynamic world of rugby right here in the UAE. Joining us is the captain of the UAE rugby team, a visionary leader who traded the fields of Northampton for the sands of Dubai and made an extraordinary mark on the sport in this region. In this episode, we will try to explore the incredible journey of a person and the challenges of building a successful team, a leadership, and the future of rugby in the UAE. Whether you are a rugby fan, a budding athlete, or simply love a good story of determination and leadership, this conversation promises insights and inspiration. So tune us with us to see the new episode. Matt, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming here. I know you was coaching this morning, right?
Yeah, that's right. Up
Yeah.
at the Seven Stadium. Yeah,
Oh gosh, it's hot there.
it's first session of the year, and it's cooking up there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I prefer to be inside. Transitioning from Northampton to Dubai is quite a journey.
Yes.
Okay, so could you share with us how that happened and how you eventually end up with the rugby team here and become a captain?
Yeah. So I'm a teacher by profession, and work is what actually brought me out here. Not rugby. Always played rugby through when I was a child, all the way through into adult rugby, and I decided to make the move to the Middle East, as a lot of people did and do. This was 9 years ago, so I'm going into my 10th year out here.
Wow.
So this is it's definitely home now for me. My job brought me out here. I was lucky enough, landed on my feet to work in an extremely good school out here in Dubai, and then I joined the rugby club scene from there. It's interesting because when I first moved to Dubai, I'd never been before. I think a lot of people move out here and they've never been to the region before, and they sort of take the plunge. And I sent out a few emails to some of the rugby clubs, did my research, and the one that got back to me first was Dubai Exiles. They play out of the Seven Stadium up on the Al Ain Road, and they were the first ones to get back to me, and I've been there ever since. So that's now my home club here in
Yeah, that's
in
great.
Dubai.
Great story. Yeah. So building a team and maintaining a team, that's a challenge, right?
For sure.
There's a lot of hurdles comes. There's a lot of barriers. So any challenges you currently facing or you faced?
Yeah, so as we sort of progress towards being a member of a team and then leading a team, there's challenges to both of those. So the dynamics and group dynamics, you have a lot of different characters in a team. You can imagine a rugby team of 25, 30 man squad of a lot of men that are very different to each other.
Yes.
How people respond to each other in pressure situations as well can be very different to how they respond to each other, like we're having a conversation now. So one of the biggest things to overcome is understanding and forming those relationships with your players. And then once you understand and know your players on a personal level, it's a lot easier to overcome those challenges. And
Yeah.
and when under pressure, or you're under those pressures in the game situations, you can overcome those challenges and hopefully be a more successful team.
So yeah, in terms of team growth, you just mentioned briefly. Yeah, managed team is completely different ball games. People are different, right? They have
Yeah.
different attitudes. They come from different backgrounds. So in terms of management and financing, that's what I'm just curious about how that happens. Like, is there any support coming or?
Yeah, so the rugby scene in the UAE is growing. It's an emerging country, and I've seen growth over the last nine seasons, 10 years. And with the UAE as well, after I was here for a certain amount of time, I qualified to play for the national team, and I'd never been given that opportunity back at home. So to have that opportunity in itself is amazing, both in the sevens format of the game and the 15s format. And even in just my time playing for the UAE, way back when I got my first cap, the progress and the support that the UAE is getting and the UAE Rugby Federation is growing. It's not where it needs to be for an aspiring nation that wants to go to the World Cup, that wants to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
There was a big push in the sevens a few seasons ago where there was a genuine opportunity the UAE could get to the Olympics through the Asia Games.
Okay.
And there was a huge push and big support from the Rugby Federation and from the government. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. They didn't win the competition. But the support is growing, and that's awesome to see. And what I've seen in my time is the more success that comes with the team and the more players that are able to play for the team, the more support that follows. So
Yeah.
I'm in a position where, and the players that I play with at the moment, we're officially the most successful team that has played for the UAE. Last year we came second in the Asia Championship. We lost to Hong Kong, which was not an education, but it was our first game at that level, and it was a statement from them of welcome to the top level,
Yeah.
top international level, and it was our wake up call of right, this is where we need to be if we want to compete at this level. And then we managed to shock, I think, a lot of people when we beat Korea and we beat Malaysia to come second in the Asia Championship. And as a team, we're kind of leading the way, and we're producing that success now, hoping that the support will now then follow on. And the difference it's made since we've had that success, the support we've now received and has been tremendous. We're now looking at tests.
I witnessed the last game.
Yeah.
You guys, was it again Malaysia?
That was against Malaysia.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, we were happy with that performance. It was tough. It was hot.
A lot of injuries.
I think
from the other side.
Yeah.
You guys were still throwing them away.
I think the conditions had something to do with that as well. It was I think it was 35 degrees and the humidity was 70-80% or something silly like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a tough day at the office, that game, but we're in a situation. You sort of talk about finances and support that we get from the government and the federation, and that's coming. We've got sponsors that are coming online now and re-sponsoring the UAE teams, people like Emirates and Gymnation, some big names, and the support they give us enables us to go and travel and play more rugby.
That's great.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So, what with the substantial expat community in the UAE, what opportunities are available for the young kids to take up the rugby? And are there any training programs? Are you doing the coaching? The other schools doing it? Any academies here?
Yeah. So the big route into rugby is through schools and through clubs. So school rugby, I'm obviously a teacher and I coach at my school. I also coach for my rugby club as well. Coach the younger age groups. I like to stick with the coaching of the young ones. So I'm going to be an under-10s coach this year, which is it's fun. But the pathway again is developing. So the schools pathway at the moment is better than it's ever been. And going through the schools, and more schools are coming online and pushing rugby and growing the sport. And the club scene is there. Then there's also your private academies and your pathway then into the international setup. And the international setup pretty much runs from the clubs, from the rugby clubs.
Yeah. What about the local enthusiasts? If there are any and they want to join, is there any platform?
Local Emiratis. So we have there's actually some Emirati teams. So there's the Shaheen team. It's really good. Really nice bunch of lads that play down there. And through the national setup, through the UAE training, I've got to know quite a lot of local players, really nice guys, and they're developing as well. And the local scene with rugby it will develop over the years. And unlike, for instance, the expat communities, wherever the players are coming from, South Africa, England, or UK, New Zealand, Australia, etc. They've grown up on rugby. I was playing rugby since I was a child. A lot of the locals have only been introduced to it over the last few years or over the last 10, 15 years. And as it grows in the local schools and the game grows there in the clubs and we get more local players playing, as they come through the years, the quality of the rugby will be better.
Yeah, that's great. So reflecting on your life and career, right? If you look back, and I ask this question to everyone who comes to this platform, okay, is there any step you have taken or decision you made in your life which you can look back and say, yes, I'm glad I did that. It's changed my life.
Yeah, moving here was a big step. I'm a big I'm a big family man. I'm very close to all my family. I have brothers, and the jump and the leap to move away, that was a big decision. It was tough. My first year here I found very tough on a personal level, and from a work point of view. It was a big step up. But I now see Dubai as home. I represent the country, and I've met my wife here. I've had my children here. It's home now, and that decision, I see that as a big benchmark in my life, where I made a really positive decision that worked in my favour. And you've got to think about the decisions you make and the different paths it takes you on in your life. And for me, rugby in the UK, for me, I was never a professional rugby player. I was working and semi-professional, getting paid some match fees here and there. But the opportunity that I received by coming here was amazing.
I think the opportunities are endless here, and people don't realize that. You just need to be willing to put yourself forward, right?
That's it.
If you push yourself and you are able to, or you have this mindset to come out of your bubble, right?
Yeah.
Outside of your comfort zone, then you can achieve a lot here.
Yeah, my personal view on when someone asks me and they say, what is it about Dubai? Why the UAE? I think there's so many people here who are like-minded and driven, and people that are at the top of their game. And even in my profession or in all professions, everyone's here, and they're trying to become, and they're at the top of their game. And even in teaching, I've leveled up. You have to level up, and it's so nice and refreshing to be in an environment where leveling up is the norm. And it's the same with rugby, and the opportunity is there if you're willing to go out and get it, and you're willing to grab it with both hands. The opportunities are there out here, and they are everywhere in the world, but specifically here, having those opportunities is
I agree.
amazing.
I agree
thing.
that. Yeah. So you are a teacher. You do doing coaching as well, and you're team captains. How you balance these demands between your personal life and the professional?
It's hard. I'll be completely honest. If my wife was here, I think she'd be saying some different things. And no, it's when you're a sportsman, and you have a profession that isn't just a 9-to-5 job. I coach outside of work as well, and my hours at work can be, one day I'll finish at 4, one day I might not finish till 9. We work weekends, tournaments, etc. And it becomes quite selfish. It is. It's the only way to describe it. And as a rugby player, or any athlete will tell you, there is a certain element of selfishness to it, and there has to be. And that's a conversation that in the early days of my relationship with my wife, I have to explain. You have to say it's a huge part of my life.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice, right?
It's a sacrifice, and there are things that will be sacrificed, and they will continue to be sacrificed. But ultimately, and I say this to my family, I say it's such a huge part of my life and has been since I was young. And there's a reason that I am so close to my family, and it's one of the reasons is the rugby club and the rugby scene and sport in general. It's such a great channel to now, and what I envisage. I have a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old, and I'm at that point where I'm now saying, right, my children are now going to be coming into that environment, and they will now start seeing the benefits of could be classed as a selfish, time-consuming evenings, leaving the house before bedtime, sometimes days not seeing my children because I'm training, or you're in the gym, or you're managing relationships, or you're coaching. Actually, they're gonna now reap the rewards of that, and they're gonna get the benefits of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm also a much nicer person when I'm playing rugby. As my wife will tell you, in the off season when we're having a rest, and I tend to be a bit more grumpy because I haven't got that channel and to get those emotions and the
We
aggressions
all learn,
out.
right, as we grow.
Sure.
That's how it is. So what advice or insights would you like to give to the community, the people who has ideas, they want to do something different, or maybe follow your path, what they should do, or they want to change their lives, and we always have the ideas, but we are reluctant to take that step.
Yeah, so
Right.
I think sort of go two parts with this one. There's young people, so I work with young people and coach young people a lot. And one of my biggest bits of advice that I tend to give them is just give it a go. Like, go, enjoy it, give something a go. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. And that's the same with rugby. Just enjoy yourself, or any sport. If you enjoy it, do it and be happy. If you don't enjoy it, try something different. And especially like we were just saying, being here, there's so much opportunity, and a lot of the young people here have such privileged lives, and to have the opportunities that potentially I didn't have when I was young, and those opportunities that I'm going to hopefully offer my children, you go, just try, have fun, and if you enjoy it, you're going to be good at it.
Yeah, and exactly. You have to try, right? You have to come out of that shell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the second side of that is then sort of adults and people that are looking for maybe a career change, things like that. Go for it. You know, take risks.
Yeah.
I'm a big one. I'm a risk taker. I had a lot of people telling me not to come to the Middle East at the time, and and I was like, no, I'm gonna give it a go, and if I don't like it, I'll come back. Yeah. And I think a lot of people in life, this is, again, just my opinion, I think take a risk, give it a go.
I think yes, you're absolutely. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Okay, especially the people who moved abroad in various countries for various reasons, and if you have not taken that step or not taken that risk, probably you will be at the same place, right? Same was with me when I was leaving the UK. And people say you have the job for life. Why are you leaving that? Well, I'm glad I did that. So there you go.
I think I was saying about this, like leveling up, and everyone where you want to go in your life. For me, with rugby, it was I want to be the best I can be whilst I still can. Unfortunately, in sport, there's a shelf life. I'm getting towards the end of it. I'm 36 years old, still playing at the top level here, but how long that will last, and I keep saying, like I said to my family and my wife and all my mates who are asking me when the boots are going to get hung up, I say, well, I'll keep playing until I'm not good enough to play anymore, until I don't get selected.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to give it a go, take risks, go, and because if you don't, you'll never know, and then you'll look back at some point in your life and you'll go, I wish I'd have just taken that step.
And that regret stays, and that's the worst thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So as a leader, right, team captain, and doing the coaching, what one quality of a leader which you think is the most, or maybe two, is up?
Try not to be sort of. You've got to know your players. You've got to know and have a relationship with your team. If you're going to, and you can relate this to business, or you can relate it to any situation where there's a team. If you don't know your team on a personal level, and I don't mean you have to go out socializing with them. I just mean you need to know what makes them tick. You need to know what, whether being firm and hard on them and brutally honest is what they need and what will get the best out of them, or being kind and then sort of then saying, oh, but also try this. And and that comes from being a leader and a captain, a team member, or a coach, a teacher. If you have those personal relationships and you understand your players, you understand your young people, you understand your team, you will get the best out of them. And you will also treat them as individuals. Although you are a team, if you can treat everyone as an individual in that, when you then are trying to create everyone to move in the same direction, and then the pressure comes on, stresses or deadlines, or however you want to put it through. If you understand what makes everybody tick, you can get everyone ticking in the same direction and walking in the same direction. You're going to get the results you want.
Yeah, great message. Matt, thank you so much for joining. I know you're busy. I really appreciate that coming here this morning.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Much obliged.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
And to you too. And my audience and my viewers will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye now.